We are going to be talking about the management courses at Sussex, our master's courses in management, and I'm going to hand over to Mirela now to introduce herself and talk through the presentation. So over to you, Mirela.
Okay, sorry, Ben, I'm just setting the first slide. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining our webinar. I'm Mirela Barbu, and I'm Associate Professor in Supply Chain Management and Logistics, and I'm here to present the MSc Management course. I'm the course director. I've been course director for 6 years now, so I know this course quite well, and I would like to provide some interesting information about it, and hoping that you'll develop a good understanding, and maybe you'll choose to join us next academic year. I also like to welcome here other two panelists, Xaviera Valenzuela and Alessio Zabai, who are our alumni. So they graduated from the same management master course in last year and 2 years ago, and also they will present their experience with the consultancy project that I will tell you about it in a few minutes. So I will start with a presentation of our school first, because of course, before deciding your course, you will decide to come to Sussex first of all. So why should you study, or why would you should you consider studying at the University of Sussex Business School? So first of all, because it is a very sustainability focused school, and also it is interdisciplinary, so we collaborate across the disciplines. We have very interesting departments, slightly different from other business schools in the country, and there is a lot of collaboration between us. So we focused on innovation, and also we focused on sustainability, as I said. We are also world-renowned school, a global business school. So we are the first in the UK for the research income that we rise. In 2025, we ranked the 27th in the UK, and we are in the top 140 for our masters in management in the world. And as you see on this slides, there are other rankings that I will not read now for you, but this is just to tell you that we are a top business school in the country, and also well known globally. Another important aspect to consider is that we have these accreditations. The accreditations will tell you about quality processes that have been recognized, as you see, by different associations. So EQUIS, for example, is the most comprehensive institutional accreditation system for business and management schools, and this it's an assurance for you that we have a rigorous quality control against international standards. And also the other important accreditations like MBA and CABS, and also, as you see here, PRIME, so the Principles for Responsible Management Education, because we incorporate the 7 United Nations Principles for Responsible Management into our administration, teaching, research, and engagement activities. Here we have some examples of our business school alumni who built very successful careers. And also the quote that you see on the left-hand side of this slide is from Aliyah, our alumni. She was the head of the generation that graduated this year. So she was the best student. She really achieved a very an extraordinary performance. And Ria was a master student. When she arrived at Sussex, she was already in a successful career in her country. But as you see here, this master helped her to really have a very important career progression. So this is just one of the examples. Of course, you will hear also from Alessio and Xaviera from their experiences. Another important aspect in the business school, but also I would say in our master, is our focus on employability. We have a department that collaborates with the business school that is across all schools in universities, that is called Careers and Entrepreneurship Team. They really provide a lot of support. They organize international affairs. They organize master classes, guest lectures, and also they promote different projects to allow students experience, entrepreneurship and be in contact with companies since the early start of their courses. So, and also I will tell you more about our collaboration with them through the consultancy project. Another aspect that, of course, is not related to the business school or Sussex University, but you should consider it, it is our location. Okay, so we have a beautiful campus. We are just at the outskirts of Brighton in a small village called Falmer. And also this location, Brighton, it is a very well-connected city by the sea, to 1 hour by train to London. It's very well connected through Gatwick Airport and Heathrow Airport. And it is a very dynamic city with lots of activities, very open, very international, open to arts, open to diversity, and I think a very nice place to study and live. So this also would be part of your experience, of course, if you decide to join us for your study. Another aspect that I think it's important in any university and at any level of your studies, it's what services you receive beyond just the strict academic services that are linked to your modules. We have, for example, Student Academic Success Advisor. That is a service that was implemented 3 years ago that is very, very useful for students to have someone that will guide them through the academic year, provide support, help with advice, provide connections to other services. We have student mentors, well-being ambassadors. We have a very successful student experience team that also won an award. We have disability support team, and also other type of services, for example, for financial support, money advice, or just free and confidential therapy services. And all these services make your experience during the academic year smooth and also more pleasant, because as we know, studying abroad can be also stressful, and there are different moments in your student life when it can be hard to face some problems, and all these people are there to help you, support you, and to make your experience as pleasant as possible. So facilities on campus, these are also important because, for example, we have a 24-hour library when students can work at any time. A very nice infrastructure that is called Student Life Center, where students usually organize events. They also study there. That is really a place where creative for students, and providing a nice environment, and also to communicate. You have to consider that if you come to Sussex and if you go to any university, you also like to learn about other student experiences, and of course, having a place where you can do that, it's also important. We also, because we are a campus university, of course, we have everything needed to live on campus, from a supermarket, more than one supermarket actually, post office. We have a health center and pharmacy. We also have a very strong student union, and also many cafes and restaurants the students use every day. So as I said, our campus is really, really beautiful and also very enjoyable living and working there. Now I will come to close to our focus. Why study management? Well, it is a very broad and versatile area of study, and I would say that this is a strength. Because a master like this will help you to understand processes through which organizations develop, transform, and achieve results, and also will equip you with a skill set that will help you to react to a changing world, and it will give you a vision to interpret the organization's next step. And this is, I think, what is the most important in management, because we are living in a very a dynamic and world that transforms quickly. There are many challenges. There are many things that cannot be just learned through a process, in a school or in a classroom. So what we need, it is to have a mindset, to have an attitude that will help us succeed after our studies. And I think MSc Management course provides you with that. As I said, we also focus a lot on responsibility and sustainability, and we also focus on innovation. So we are looking at how organizations can deliver innovative solution. And as I said, how do we do that? We help students participate in many projects, and also we merge theoretical knowledge with practical business challenges. A few words about our department. So the MSc Management is owned by the management department. So that means the faculty that teaches you are mainly based in this department. It is a very good department with 4 areas. So the disciplines are divided in 4 areas. It's like supply chain management, information systems, organization behavior, and human resources. And you will see that in your program, you have modules that cover all these areas. We are also a research-intensive department with international renowned scholars. Many colleagues teach using findings from their research. And also we focus on contemporary organizational issues and on big important societal problems with a strong emphasis on people, processes, and technology management. So some students often ask me, who should take this course? Is it course good for me? So I provide here just some examples. For example, aspiring business leaders, so people who aim for leadership roles in the diverse sectors, they'll find this course very useful. Entrepreneurial individuals, people who want to launch or manage a business can benefit from modules that focus on innovation, for example, and strategic thinking. But also people who seek to develop an international career, working in global context, because in our curriculum we emphasize international business practices and also cross-cultural management. Another category are professionals, so people who may have already developed an experience, but they want to advance their career, developing their managerial competencies. And often we have the students with a background maybe in something completely different, like engineering or psychology or even arts. And also future consultants, students interested in developing a career in management consulting. And we provide specific training on this through consulting focus modules and also to the consultancy project that is a practical training. I will tell you about this very quickly. What you'll study, I will jump this slide because I just want to show you directly the syllabus. So this is the curriculum. Okay, so these are all modules that are taught. There are 4 core modules and 1 elective in the autumn term, 3 core modules and 2 elective in the spring, and in the summer. Students can choose between the research project, that is the classical dissertation, or the consultancy project. Now, as you see, especially in the second term, in the spring term, we offer many options. So we organize them in what we call them buckets. Okay, so there are 6 optional modules, and students can choose 2. 1 from each bucket. And if you read them, their titles, you see that they cover pretty much everything. So we have modules in marketing and humanitarian and service supply chains. We have modules about sustainability in global supply chains, in ethics, in HR and industrial relations, or also on intercultural communication. So this is just to show that there is a broad offer, and I think this our course is really unique for this. All MSc programs offer some optionals, but we really have a huge number. If you look here, we offer 10 elective modules on our course, and students really enjoy this because this offers them, especially in the second term, to focus on those disciplines that they find more interesting for their options for the career they want to pursue. And in the summer, we have this, let's call it option, but it's just an alternative to the classical research project. So that would be the dissertation similar to what you may have developed for your undergrad studies. So that will be just a research project, very interesting. So many students offer choose that, but I would like to focus on the consultancy project. That is a new offer. We started it 5 years ago, and we are very pleased with the results. So, what is a consultancy project? It is a module that aims to provide students with interested in undertaking a different type of dissertation with an opportunity to be involved in addressing a proper business problem. So from this perspective, the consultancy project is really a project prepared by consultants when addressing a client request. So there are 3 assessments that are part of this module. A group written submission that we call it the consultancy report, a group presentation that it is called recommendations to the client, and a project that is the only component that is an individual submission, and usually it takes a form of a poster, a video, or a podcast. I can tell you that the last 2 years, our students preferred podcasts. Almost 80% of the students choose to prepare a podcast. Now to focus on the group elements. So usually the consultancy project is implemented by a team of 3 or 4 students, and together they prepare the report and the presentation to the client. Of course, how they work, they start working from a client request. So we work with careers. So this division that I mentioned to you earlier, they will put out a call, usually in February. And in this call, they will select, will invite companies to apply for it. And after we'll select a number of companies for our project. And the companies offer briefs. Okay, so the companies tell us, we have this problem that we would like your students to work on it. And we start, our collaboration from there. We have very interesting offers from companies. It was our choice to focus on companies that operate in the UK. Also because at the beginning there is a meeting between the students team and the companies that we want to happen in person, and we invite these companies on our campus, and the students can have a very thorough meeting, a very thorough conversation with them to set up the questions and start the project. Now in the following slides I will show you, provide some information about the winning teams. We introduced the Consultancy Project Award, so that is the best team winning the project. We introduced it 2 years ago. So at the moment we have 2 winning teams, and Xaviera and Alessio represent these teams. So the team that worked in 2022-2023, they work for a company that is called Aviatrix. So we have Claire, Helena, and Xaviera. Xaviera is here. She will tell you more about her experience. So this is a feedback that the managing director of Aviatrix provided on their work. As you see, it is very positive, and I can tell you this company was really, really excited about their work. So Aviatrix is a well-established market research company. And the aim of the project was to develop an action plan for Aviatrix to target and influence businesses to use value-based segmentation models in order to gain strategic insight that will increase their sales. So the student team helped Aviatrix understand their clients' experience using the value-based segmentation model and how they can market this overall. Aviatrix was particularly interested in targeting and approaching travel, leisure, and hospitality businesses to use this model. So the student team investigated this sector and provided recommendations. And when they deliver these recommendations, usually this happens at the end of August on Zoom, the company, Helen Bailey, was really, really enthusiastic. So they really did a very good job. And what is very very important here to underline is that the results of the student work are really implemented by the company. So this is not an exercise just for the sake of having an assessment. So it is the students work on a proper problem, and the companies are truly motivated and interested in implementing the solutions offered by the student team. So this picture is from our ceremony for the Best Consultancy Project Award in 2024, in January 2024. That this is after the graduation. Now, last year, the ceremony was in January 2025. We had another excellent team, Aitana, Regan, and Alessio. They worked for a company called Eluxevo, and Maximilian Smith is their director. So Eluxevo is a startup that have received funding by several Innovate UK grants. Their mission is to accelerate decarbonization of domestic heating. And to this purpose, they created a new technology, but they were struggling to define their early adopters. So, being a startup for them was very important to understand their market. So because they are a young company, they don't have equity or a network of existing customers or advocates. They were really interested to understand who would be attracted by their value proposition. So the student team worked on developing their market strategy. They identified and mapped the product market fit and determined how to reach the early adopters of its technology. And again, the company was really enthusiastic, and they already started to implement some of these suggestions, recommendations. So these are just two examples of the consultancy project that I think are very representative of good projects that reach the client expectations. I would think they went beyond the client's expectations, but I will leave the details to Xaviera and Alessio.
Hi everyone, I'm Javiera Valenzuela. I'm from Chile. I was the only one from Latin America in my course, so I met a lot of international students, different people from all around the world, and it was a very, very good experience to get to know them, to learn from their experience, their different backgrounds, and everything. I came to Sussex on 2023 with my husband, and it was a very, very good experience. I have a background in physical therapy. Also, I am an entrepreneur, and that's one of the reasons that I chose the MSc in management from Sussex. Also, the consultancy project was the main point because why I chose this course. So in the first place, I was very excited about the one of the modules that is business analysis and consultancy project that is also taught by Mirela and George. So there we had an assignment in the university, and we did a consultancy project for the sustainability department of the university. Then there we learned how to plan a project, all the stages, what was important, and get to try the experience of being a consultant in a smaller project. Also get to know better our teammates and how we work there. Also how to answer to many stakeholders, because we had to interview the students of the university and everything. And from there, we put together the group that did the actual consultancy project for the dissertation. That is Claire, Elena, and Elena, that were part of the group, that we are in the picture down in the left. And the biggest challenge here, we were very excited about the project, but was in the beginning getting to know our client, understanding really well what she wanted and what she expected from us. They were already consultants, so it was kind of challenging to making consultancy project for them, but they were very nice. They understood all of our and answered all of our questions, were very available to explain everything and to clarify every aspect of the project and what they expected from us. So that got us a very clear picture of what they wanted us to deliver, and it was the first step to start planning and developing the project in the best way possible. For me, planning was the key step. Planning well, dividing every step into things that we could achieve and we could follow through the process, because it lasts around 3 months. So in the beginning, you see that it's like very long time ahead, but then the dates start coming and you have to get the pace and start working a little faster. But also other challenges were agreeing with your teammates. Elena and Claire had different backgrounds, one from psychology and one from biochemical. So it was difficult in the beginning. We had different perspectives, but it also brought to the project very rich insights and opinions that actually made our project better. At some point we didn't agree, so we had to make decisions and take one of the paths. And also the bigger challenge was that Helen from Aviatrix was expecting, and she had an initial idea of what we would find out after doing the research all the market research. What were the problems with the model that they were using, and the results were very different. People didn't have the problems that she expected to find, and that was also very good, because it opened up a very wide and a different perspective for her of how to market and use all the marketing around this tool that differentiates a lot her company and her consultancy process with their clients. As I already said, our client was kind of demanding in a good way. She expected a lot from us, and that was very good. She had high expectation. It wasn't just like I'm collaborating with some students. She really wanted to implement the ideas that we proposed, and she actually did with Claire's assistance after the course. And she has many years in consulting, so it was also like kind of scary in the beginning, but she has all a very good disposition to be with us in all the process. It also was very important for us, all the process in and all the feedback that we got from George in that point, that was our supervisor. He always made us kind of go further, questioning why we were questioning that. So we have to find the evidence and do better proposals, or do better in anything that we were presenting at the moment. For me, this was the main reason that I chose the course. I didn't want to do a typical dissertation, because it wasn't what I expected to do after in my career. I I'm from Chile, so our kind of career path is very rigid. So I wanted to broaden all my possibilities and all my chances to get a little out of the healthcare system, and it worked. I'm now acting as and working as a project manager in a startup, so I think that all the process about this consultancy project gave me all the tools that I am using now in my day-to-day work. For me also, very important part of the experience was making new friends. I get to know people from all around the world, from Asia, from Europe, from Africa, and a little from others from Latin America, and that was very it enriched all the experience. We got to travel to get to know Brighton in depth. It's an amazing city to live. I would say the best city in the UK to study. It's very friendly and also the best weather in the UK, I can say. And enjoying being in the UK, all the experience about that. So I would recommend it very much, especially the consultancy project.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alessio Zabai. I live in Trieste, which is a small city in the northeast of Italy. Let me correct you because this picture is actually from my previous graduation at the University of Sussex, because I started my path here at Sussex in 2020 in a BSc in Business and Management with Spanish for professional purposes, which was my minor. And I can easily say that I spent my best years of my life at Sussex and more specifically in Brighton. And I've enjoyed them so much that I also decided to study the MSc in management. So I decided to continue my path and my career at this fantastic university. What can I say? That right now I work in my family company, which operates in the field of logistics. And of course, what I've learned at the University of Sussex was really precious for my work right now. I've divided my little speech in three main parts. So starting from the pre-project, so the motivations behind the consultancy project and when and why did they choose to work on this project. Well, we have to go back in time, and it was in my third year of university, and I was assisting to an online open day, and actually there was Mirela doing the presentation, and I was really undecisive in between two courses. So it was, for me, it was in between the MSc management and the course about supply chain and logistics. And of course, that would have made a lot of sense because, as I told you previously, my company operates in the field of logistics. So that could have been, the logical choice. But throughout the presentation, I got to know about the consultancy project that the MSc management gave you the opportunity of participating in. Therefore, learning about this project and the fact that it was a fascinating option to the dissertation, which I was already writing in my third year at Sussex, and also getting to know the prestige behind this project, because it has some requirements of entry. It's not all students can participate, just students with really high grades and who worked really hard throughout the year can be members of the project, and that gave me a lot of motivation already. And since I'm someone who's always up for a challenge, I decided to accept the challenge and enroll in the MSc management with the objective of working in the consultancy project and collaborating with a client. So my teammates, how did I choose my teammates? I've been, and what I feel like suggesting, really strategical about it. And I think that you have to choose someone who matches your work ethic. Therefore, you know yourself the best, of course. And if you know you're a hard worker, someone who's always going to be in the library over the summer, I think that the best choice is to choose someone who matches your work ethics. And another tip I can give is that before choosing teammates or asking someone to work with you, you really have to kind of know yourself and what your weaknesses are and what your strengths are. Because if you know what you're good at and you know what you're not that good at, then you can choose someone who has another type of skill set from yours and who's gonna create the ultimate group in the end, a group who has different types of skills and strengths. Therefore, knowing myself, as I said, I'm a lot strategic, and I think I have some pretty decent leadership skills. But for example, something I wasn't good at is analytical skills. For example, analyzing data with statistical softwares such as SPSS. Therefore, I was trying to understand who from the potential pool of teammates knew those kind of skills, and therefore I chose accordingly, let's say. So let's enter during the project phase and speak about the interaction with the client. So what were my impressions of the client during our first meeting? So as you said, Mirela, our client is called Maximilian Smith. And from the first meeting we had with him during the first meeting in June, was that he was a really, really picky person, someone who really wanted you to go and analyze every single detail. Therefore, that was my first impression about the client, about Maximilian. And how did we interact with Maximilian? Well, we have, and you're going to have your first meeting with the client, and the client is going to present their company and the product they want you to enhance. And briefly after that, and let me tell you, you're going to be a lot confused after that first meeting, because the client is going to talk a lot, and of course the client is going to be the maximum expert about their own company and their own product or whatever service they're offering. Therefore, you're going to speak a lot and you're going to be confused, and you're probably going to exit the meeting room with a headache. But immediately after that, you have another meeting. I think it's like 1 week afterwards, and it's always a face-to-face meeting. And you've had that week in order to think about questions, meet again with your teammates, and it's going to be really straightforward then to ask more questions. And anyways, throughout the 3 months you're going to work on the consultancy project, you can always request a meeting. You can send them some emails. Therefore, they're always going to be there for you. Let me speak about some proud moments, and when did I feel proud of myself and of the team, of course. Well, I felt proud every day, honestly, because every day me and my teammates walked in the library early in the morning and walked out of the library really late in the evening. I knew we were working hard, and we were giving ourselves to the project and to the client in some ways. So I was really proud about that. I was really proud when we had our presentation, when we made our presentation to the client. And I was really proud when Mirela and George sent us an email saying that our group had won the first prize. And of course, I was proud when I was at the gala receiving my certificate. Challenges. So what were the most difficult challenges, and how did I and the team overcome them? So I think that, of course, one of the main challenges was as soon as you meet the client, and as already mentioned, you speak with the client and you're going to be a lot confused. But for me and the team, another challenge was trying to finding a strategy that everyone agreed to. Because of course it's fantastic to work with people from other backgrounds and who have different ideas, and everyone is going to bring their idea, and that's great. But the idea that I'm saying, or the idea that one of my teammates is saying, might not be what I had in mind. Therefore, for us, we spent literally sometimes even 2 or 3 days trying to agree a certain strategy in order to have the best strategy, and maybe also having some arguments, but I guess that's totally normal also when you're going to start working in a company, to have some arguments or not seeing it the same way of your colleagues. That was pretty challenging in my opinion, but we were able always to agree. And in the end, I'm of the idea, and this is my honest opinion, that when you challenge, of course, your ideas and the ideas of other people, then you can come out with even better ideas, because you've challenged, you've been critical about them, about the ideas, and you ultimately come out with the ultimate strategy for the client. supervision and feedback. So how we assisted during the consultancy project? We were assisted a lot, both by the client and particularly by George, who's the gentleman you may see in the picture on the right hand side of your screen. And George is always going to be there for you, and he's also going to be an intermediary in between you and the client. And just before the project starts, you share your phone number with George, and George is going to create some WhatsApp groups, and you basically can text him whenever you want. Of course, to speak about and discuss about your strategy about the consultancy project, and he's always going to be there for you, as I mentioned. And it's really different because, for example, if you are writing a dissertation, of course, you're also going to have a supervisor. But the supervisor is also going to be looking after many other people. Therefore, of course, also during the dissertation, the supervisor is going to give you his or her time. But George has to do with 4 or 5 groups. Therefore, he's just there for you, and of course the other teams. Let's talk about the work environment. So let's get to the present. How has working on the consultancy project helped me in my current role? So as I mentioned, our client was really picky, and I think that in specifically in my sector, the sector of logistics, you have to be really picky and precise because you operate in one which is just a small segment of the supply chain. Therefore, other people will depend on your work, and if you're not precise and if you're not on time, then surely you're not helping the other parts of the other segments of the supply chain. Therefore, surely this is something I've learned and something which has helped me. And also, yeah, as I mentioned, collaborating with my teammates, because when you work in a company, you're going to have to collaborate with a lot of people, and this gives you the upper hand because, for example, if you work on a dissertation, you're going to be you're going to be alone. Maybe alone is not the right word, but you're not going to collaborate with other team members, and therefore you don't have other people who depend on you, and you're not going to depend on other people. Instead, on the consultancy project, that's going to be the case. Speaking about leaving aside the consultancy project and speaking about Brighton, as I mentioned, it was awesome spending 4 years of my life there, and honestly, I would do it again if I could go back in time. Something I've told both Georgie and Mirela is that once I'm maybe older, I surely want to consider a career as a professor at the University of Sussex because I really enjoyed it, and as I said earlier, I really like to teach and help other students, therefore, and share my ideas and listen what others have to say.
Thank you so much, Alessio. I'm conscious about time, Ben, so I will stop sharing. I didn't know, Alessio, that you choose the MSc Management for the consultancy project. That is great. It was a very nice testimony. So we have some questions in the chat, Ben, right?
There's no questions yet. I've asked if anyone's got any questions. If anyone does have any questions, we've got a couple more minutes. We can be online to answer. So do type in.
Also, I want to add something to Xavier's and Alessio's presentation. So the consultancy project is organized in this way. We have a supervisor who is Dr. George Antonas, and I am the module convener. So our work is different, of course. And as Alessio mentioned, the supervisor is really very available also because we included the formative feedback in our model. So the supervisor provides feedback every 3 weeks, more or less. So there are all these internal deadlines of presenting work to the supervisor that are really useful for keeping the teams on track, because the risk with also the dissertation and the students get lost. It's a lot of work to be done in 3 months. For the consultancy project, that process is really closely monitored by the supervisor and in relation to the client. So yeah, this is what I would say our secrets, but of course there are others. For example, the training that we provide on consulting with the module business analysis and consulting. We don't have time now to talk about everything, but I would like to share my email address. So anyone who is interested in more details can email me directly. You can find it on the university website. I think it's not on the slides, or maybe we should add it, Ben. It's m.e.barbu Sussex ACUK. And easy to find it anywhere, just googling my name and University of Sussex.
I'll add that in the chat for you now.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Take care. Bye.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.